Hi Best Buds, it's Cathy with Cathy's Garden and I'm so happy that you've joined me today. Today we're going to make, well, I don't know what to call them, but I've made 3 of them and we're going to make another one together. So it's very interactive. It has lots of tuck spots and pockets, and what I really think I'm going to call it is a page insert with a flip bag. So before I even show you what it is when I open it up, this is a signature that I have already sewn together and I've had it for a while. I just use it kind of as an example. So you could pop this on the front. Isn't that pretty? Just pop it on the front like that. Now let's look at the blue one. Blue and green right here. So there's that one. And then here's the green one. I think I like the green one and the mauve purple one the best on this piece right here, on this signature. So you could sew it into your signature. So as you make your signature, I've already sewn mine, but you could, stitch it in and make it part of your signature. You could even put a tab on the side of it and make it like chapters in your, like every signature has one of these, and maybe you have 2 or 3 signatures in your journal. I think that would be really cute too. So let me show you what they look like inside. Let's start with the small one. As you can tell, you can make them any size that you want. So let's look at the mauve one first. I've used some Sari silk from Crimson Heart Studios here. This is a little velvet bow and some butterflies. Now this butterfly was printed on the page. Now this is a sticker and I'm going to show you how I made these stickers. I've got a sticker on the back as well with some washi. Now this was part of the print of the sticker. I did not glue that butterfly on. That was part of the butterfly. This is a digital from Chapter 1 Papers. And this is a digital from Roxy's Creation. Let's look inside. So inside I have a little flip book. And this little flip book was flipping a lot. Every time I went to close this, it kind of was, getting a little messed up. So I thought, let's put some portfolio closures on here. And so that way it will hold our little flip book in its place when we're opening and closing and not using it. And then when we need to keep it in place, we just wrap it around like that. Over here, I used a label. And this label is from Medieval Mirage. I have a little bit of that mauve velvet, some lace, and a little sewing trim with a flat back pearl. I put a flat back pearl in that butterfly too. And I've tucked a few little items here. And let's open it up again. Listen. That sounds wonderful, doesn't it? I have a cute little bouquet here from My Porch Prints. A little bit more of that little velvety ribbon. And I have a tuck spot right here with the journaling card. Over here, I have another tuck spot with 2 more little journaling cards. And in here, I have a big journaling card. I used one of those receipt, and I colored it with coffee, and I made it like that. I did sew around the edge on this, and then I just put a little bit of decoration on the other side. And this is where that sound is coming from. Let me get it in here first. Can't quite see here. Get it to where I can see what I'm doing. Oop, I'm not getting it in there. I'm not getting it in there at all. There we go. I made it. Okay, so that's the little mauve one. Now let's look at the blue one. So I've got my butterflies, my Sari silk. I just did this one a little bit differently. I still have my sticker, and I still have some pages right there, a digital page. Let's open it up. There's my flip book and this one. And this time I just stuck a little journaling card underneath like a belly band. Over here we have another pocket. We have a couple more pieces of ephemera. And then we open it up further. There's that noise. And we have a nice big tuck spot here in the center. And then I have a belly band over here. I have a seed pocket right here from Chapter 1 Papers. And another tag, and that's also from Chapter 1 Papers. And then inside here, I did the same thing. And I used that receipt page, and then I just stuck something on the back. Decorated it a little bit with that Sari silk that is throughout this little piece here. Now let's look at the green one. Oh, I do love this green one. It's so bright and perky. Doesn't it say spring to you? It does to me. I love this little tiny pink satin ribbon on top of the green Sari silk. Got some of those sewing pieces with some flat back pearls on the butterflies. We open this up. Once again, we have our little flip book. I think they're so cute in here. And a journaling card tucked in underneath the baker's twine like a belly band. Over here I have a very small tuck that holds 2 pieces of ephemera. There's that sound again. Another large pocket right here with 2 more pieces of ephemera from Chapter 1 Papers. And then here we have another tuck spot. And the little pocket or tuck spot here is from My Porch Prints. Right here, the little child sitting in the garden. And I have another one of those very large tags. Now this one, I made a pocket on it. So you do all kinds of different things, but I still put this on one side. I think that's wonderful to write on. Now, I think these would be fabulous. Now, you could also use it as an add-on. What's an add-on? Well, that's like, this is a finished journal. Let's just pretend. You would just pop it right on top and tie them together. And that's what I would consider an add-on. Or like I said, you could actually sew it into your signature, or you could use it as a cover. Doesn't that make a nice cover? I think it does. And then you would have an interactive page in the back that folds out. So many different things that you can do with this piece of, I'm not sure what to call it, ephemera. We're going to call it a page insert with a flip bag. So let's make one together. I'm starting with a digital from Medieval Mirage, and I printed on both sides. Now, you could use a paper pad. You could use a paper pad printed on one side and coffee dyed the back side, or a piece of paper pad that is printed on both sides if you don't have a digital. This is cardstock, so I would not pick something flimsy out if you're working with a paper pad. I think it needs to be fairly substantial. Now my piece right here happens to be 10.5 by 8. But as you saw in my examples here, I have different sizes. So this was smaller. So it just depends on what size maybe you're working with. Maybe what size is a journal you're going to put this in, if that's what you're going to do with it. That might determine what size you want to make yours. So what we're going to do is we're going to fold it in half. So folding it in half and giving it a nice crease. The next thing I need to decide is, do I want this to be my front and this to be my inside? Or do I want this to be my front and this to be my inside? Well, because I'm going to use some stickers that I have made myself. Now, someone's going to ask me, what kind of stickers did I use? And I don't know if you can hear my voice, is probably not. I'm looking for what I did with my sticker pack. I don't know what I did with it. Maybe it says on here. Avery. Shipping labels. That's what these are shipping labels. Now, this is chapter 1 paper digital. I put this into my printer and I printed onto these labels. I did a couple sheets of them. I just thought, oh my goodness, this would be just really fun. And I used these labels in each one of my little pieces that I made. Here's the label right here. Here's the label on the back. This is the label right here. See, that is printed butterfly. Now this one I put on there. I glued that butterfly on. There's a label there. And then here's this label. And then there's a label right here in the back. So I put a label. I used 2 labels for each one of these. So one I placed on the front and one I placed on the back. So let me just look at the colors we have here and think to myself, I also have these blue butterflies that I gathered. I thought I would use those for my decoration on the front. I don't think, now I'm not sure, but I don't think I want to get carried away with using all blue. I'm kind of liking this sweet pea right here and this other little flower, which I'm not real sure what that is. This one's awful sweet too, right here. Now, let me show you. These are labels. Remember I said they were shipping labels. And let's pull one up. So this side, it printed saying, you know, chapter 1 papers. I don't want that part. I need to trim that off. So before I take this whole thing off, this whole label off, I'm going to trim that. Just so when I go to stick it where I want it, I'm not going to have a problem. Alrighty, so that's the only part that I need to take off. And I want to use this for my front. And I'm just looking at it to think, do I want to take it down? I think I want to take it down just a little more. I don't want that white right there on the front. So I'm going to turn it over. And the reason why is because if you're able to, when you go to cut, if you can start on the opening part and end in the fold, you won't have your pages go like that. They'll stay more true and together. So that's why I'm turning it upside down, and I'm going to trim that off a little bit. Yeah, I like that. That's what I'd like. All right, good. So I got what I like. The next thing is I need to decide where am I going to put this sticker. So let's take it off. So there's my little sticker, super duper cute. And I think I'm actually going to stick it down here. So I'm just going to straighten my little folded paper up a little bit. And then I'm just going to pop it down. There we go. Super cute, right? Now, because it was a sticker, I didn't want to try to ink it before I put it down. So I'm just going to lightly run it around my sponge around the edge just to give it a little contrast. Oh, I think that's super sweet. Now let's select one to go on the back. I was thinking this one. So do I need to trim something off? Yes. I'm sure someone says to me, oh, Cathy, there's a way you can print that you won't have your border like that. Well, I'm sure there is, but you know, I'm just not real savvy in that kind of stuff. So I'll just trim it off and not worry about it. So let's pull that up and let's see. Now this is my back. I want to make sure I'm right side up. Where do I want to put it back here? I think I'm going to put it up here. It doesn't really matter where we put it. I think I'm going to put it right there. All right. How about that? Super cute. So the plainer your paper, I'm going to call this my background paper. That's why I thought this worked really well, because it's a vintage style, a vintage, what I'm trying to say, document from Roxy's creation in one of her digitals, and it had a lot of blank space. See, it had a lot of blank space, so you could really see that label. This one is a little busier, but I still think it works out really well. So I'm just showing you that you could use a busy paper, or you could use one that isn't as busy. Now, if someone says, well, Cathy, I don't have a printer, I can't do this, you can always use your stamps, and you can stamp this up, before you, remove anything. It's a plain label sheet. You just stamp your stamps, do them all kinds, do butterflies, do words, do all kinds of things, and you could make it really cute. You could use different color of ink, and you could really, really make it cute. So there's always a way that you can work with what you've got. So we're at this point. Now the next thing that I want to do is, let me get it. It's all piled up over here. I have got a bag. And there's my little bag. And I have been using these little bags. I got a whole bunch of them from, where did I get them from? Amazon. These are 5 inches by 7.5. And I'm going to pop this on right here. Now this one is smaller than my paper. And I'm kind of thinking I'm going to shorten that up so that it's the same size as my paper. You wouldn't have to do that, but I'm going to. So I'm just going to mark it right here. I'm going to chop my paper. Can't mark it like that. I'm going to cut my paper right there. I'm not cutting my label at all. My label is still intact. It's just going to lower it a little bit. And that will be fine. And let's just get that cut. Just like that. Okay. So we've got it trimmed. Now my bag is going to fit here perfectly. Absolutely perfectly. What I want to do is I'm going to fold just a little bit of my bag. Someone's going to ask me, how much am I going to fold? I don't know. Let's see how much it works out to be. About 1/2 inch will be fine. Something like that. Doesn't have to be perfect, guys. Heaven knows I don't measure perfect. All right, so something like 1/2 inch. What that will do is it'll enable you to clip it over the edge of your little journal here, what we're making. What do I call it? I'm calling it a page insert. Okay, so we've got it like that. I've just taken it, I folded 1/2 inch, and this is the back side, and I'm just going to clip it on. We'll clip it, you know what I mean by clip it. And I'm going to glue this on. I'm going to use my art glitter glue, and I'm going to glue this little piece down. And then I'm going to add my glue onto that folded bag, the part that we folded, and line it up so it's straight. It's not hanging out or anything like that. And we're just going to glue it right there. So we've got that glued down. The next thing I want to do is I've got to get to my washi tape. All right, so I think this washi will be really pretty with all of this that's going on. Whoever told me to warm up my washi before I use it, especially if it's old washi, it's brilliant. It's a brilliant thing to do, is to warm it up. So I'm warming it up right now. And let's get back to our little piece right here. Now, how do we want to decorate this front part? I brought in some gold Sari silk from Crimson Heart Studios. I'll list her shop down below. And I thought this color would work really nicely with the yellows and the golds and everything that's going on here. I'm not sure exactly what I want to do here. That's something that I'm going to have to kind of figure out, right? It's a little time. It's time to figure it out. What are we going to do? Are we going to highlight this stamp? Are we just going to maybe put this up like this and highlight it in that way? I like that. But what can I put like right there? I have a little bit of lace here. A couple of different kinds. That would be really pretty on there. I'm wondering if, I'm just saying if that's pretty together, the gold, it really makes that lace stand out, doesn't it? Let me see if my washi is dry, or not dry, warm enough to get it to unravel and be able to stick where I want it. Oh yeah, it's coming apart just fine. I am going to get my art glitter glue, and I am going to put a little bit of glue right here where I want to make sure that my edge of my bag really gets, you know, glued down well. And the washi just really makes it pretty. It adds a little something to it. I'm going to open this up all the way like this, and I'm going to tear my little washi right here. I'm going to take my glue, I'm going to add some glue onto my washi, and then I'm going to just fold it over. So I've taken my washi and I've folded the ends. I folded them over. I folded them over the paper. Just, I don't know, for it to look cute. Also, it'll definitely ensure that that bag is secure and it's not going to pull up. So now let's look at it. This is our front. This is our bag. There's our little washi right there. And then we fold it, and there's our washi in the back. Isn't that a pretty back? That's very, very pretty. All right, so back to the front again. We've got to figure out what we're going to do here for a little bit of decoration. Let me think. I'm going to see about finding maybe some pink ribbon to go with this gold Sari silk, or maybe blue. It needs something. Maybe ironing this to get it flatter. Have I ever shown you how I iron my Sari silk? All right, you guys, as I was looking around, I've decided maybe we don't want the gold Sari silk. Maybe we want lavender. I've got that ribbon that is velvet or velveteen. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but that's beautiful with it. There's some pink satin ribbon. I even have some of this Sari silk that I've already, whoopsie, made into ruffles. And I also have some gray of that. They do call it velvet ribbon. I have some gray velvet ribbon. All right, so we're changing. We're allowed to do that as crafters. We can change our mind instantly. Yep, we can. Okay, so now we're just kind of looking this over, seeing what I want to do here. This is going to have a heavier feel than the Sari silk that's not ironed and pleated. I like that. Do I like the pink, the gray, or the satin? I think I like the satin. All right, I'm going to plug in my glue gun. I don't think I've done that. And we're going to get this glued down. All right, the glue gun is all ready to go. And let's get the end of our ruffle here. Just trimming off the end. And I think I'm going to take it from about right here. So adding my glue. Now I am adding, or using I should say, hot glue because it's quick and easy, and it's really good for videos because once I glue this down, it's permanent. I don't have to worry about it moving around. I use a Sure Bonder high temp, and it has this little tip on it. It is really, really great for getting things glued down so that you can keep going. Do be careful if you use a hot glue gun. They can and will burn you. So do be very careful. I'm going to go around this corner and I'm going to pleat it just a little bit. So adding my glue there and then bringing it on up on the folded side. I have to kind of unfold these pleats. They twist, and I'm untwisting them before I lay my little ruffle down. Seeing if I can get some untwisted so I can just lay it down, because you do have to be quick while you're working with hot glue. If anyone's ever worked with hot glue and they say, well, it doesn't work, it doesn't stick, it's because you're waiting too long to lay whatever you want to glue down into the glue. You must be quick. You must do it while it's hot, and it does cool off quickly. Alrighty, so we've got that ruffle on there. Let's snip it, trim it off here, and see how we look, how we like it. Oh, I think the colors look wonderful. Now I have little pieces of sewing trim. I thought maybe I could pop one on right here. But before I do that, I'm going to see if I would like to add some of this satin ribbon in a very pale pink. I'm going to tie a bow right here. Let's pull this little side down and this side down to the size that we want, and see about possibly popping it on here and then using that ribbon to decorate the side. I think that's what I want. I'm thinking I need maybe a little bit more ribbon there, so I need to move my bow down to give myself some more ribbon. I'd always rather cut my ribbon off than to not have enough. Kind of like sewing in a signature. I'd rather have more thread that I have to cut off than not enough. Alrighty. That bow didn't look good enough. We're going to do another one. If the bow doesn't look good, then you don't want to use it, right? Yeah, it's got to look good. It's right here is where this is twisted. I'm going to see if I can't twist it so that the bow lays flat. There we go. I think. Now I got to even up the sides. All right. Now let's see here. I think I'm going to put it more like that. Instead of like that, I think I'm going to put it more like that. It'll just help keep the bow from getting, I don't want to say the word damaged, but messed up. Especially if you're going to use it in your signatures or as a cover. I'm going to add my glue. I'm not going to be stingy with it either. Add enough glue that it is on there. Yep, I need to add a little bit more glue right here. I need to get that loop down in that glue. There we go. Alrighty, that's looking good. Now, there's a lot of thread, you know, I don't know what the word is. Well, I do, but I just can't think of it. Yeah, that happens to me a lot. But it's happened to me all my life, so it's not a sign of any of that stuff happening. It's just me all over. It's what it is. It's just me. I've been that way all my life. Okay, so I'm going to twist my ribbon just a little bit, and then we're going to give it a little... I can turn this page so I can work with it a little bit. So I can get it the way I want it. Okay. There, that's what I want right there. I'm just going to use the tip of my scissors to push it down into that hot glue. I'd do my finger, but my finger, the glue would get on my finger, and then I would end up with an ugly spot in my glue. I don't want that, so that's why I'm using my scissors. You can get down in there, and there we are. So we're just putting a little movement in our piece. There we are. And then right down here at the bottom. Try it this way. See, nope, don't like it that way. Okay, just shortening up that loop a little bit. Something like that, right? Okay, I think that looks real sweet. My goodness, this is looking springy, isn't it, guys? Yeah, I'm over this snow. Usually, our snow does not last, and hopefully today will take care of it. But we had snow on Friday, and I am making this on Sunday afternoon, and there's still snow on the ground, but it's mostly gone, which is like, yay. It gets so dirty and icky. Yeah, that stayed long enough for me. I'm done. Now it's time for summer, right? Yeah, I'm not a winter girl. No, too many years in Kansas. Okay, so we're just doing the exact same thing, and we're just twirling our ribbon and then placing a little bit of glue and then pushing the ribbon into the glue so that it stays where you want it. And I think I want one more little twist before I end this. Like that. Okay, I think that looks great. I'm happy with that. Very happy with that. Now what I'm going to do with this over here, it's still connected to my bolt. Do I want to just curl it and stick it down right here? I think so. I don't think I'm going anywhere with that. So let's just glue it down. And then just trim it off right here. Alrighty, so I can move my bolt over there. A little piece. Alright, now I've got these little sewing pieces that I think they might look really sweet. Maybe something like that. I turn that this way and be like that. All right, I like that a lot. Let's go ahead and let's do that. Let's get this done. Adding the glue to the back. Whoops, I wanted this to be down like that. Okay, and then adding my glue here onto that one. And I'm going to put it right in the middle of my little flower. I'm just looking to see. There is a right and a wrong side to these little flowers. And I don't know that it would really matter because we're going to put something in the center of those. I've got my butterflies. Ooh, ooh. Let's get some butterflies going on. I can pick it up. I know I don't want all of these butterflies, but I do like these bright blue ones. Are so pretty. Maybe here, maybe a smaller one over here. Got a darker one. Maybe something like that. Just have them fluttering around our page, our cover. Something like that. I think that looks great. I'm pleased with that. Do I want, no, before I glue that all down, do I want to add anything on the side right here? For some reason, I kind of feel like it needs something over here, but I'm not sure that was it. Maybe this is it. Yeah, I think it needs that right along the side like that. All right, I'm going to glue these in place. I'm going to glue that lace right down the side. Alrighty, so we got the cover all finished. I do like how that's turned out. And let's open it up. Let's talk about our tag that we're going to stick into the wonderful sounding bag. So I have coffee dyed a receipt. I have a little vintage style piece right here, and I have a coffee dyed piece of lightweight coffee weight paper, and I think I have folded this to fit inside. Yeah, that'll fit inside nicely. Now I actually turned it over like this because it'll give it a little bit more stability so that it will be nice to pull in and out of your pocket. So I'm going to glue this down like that. And I'm going to glue my little, I'm looking to see, do I need to trim it? It might need to be trimmed a little bit, but I'm going to glue this down just like this onto my piece of paper. We're making ourselves a big tag to go into our bag. That'll be really nice to have to journal on. And it's easy and it's super cute once you get it all done. I need to add a little bit more glue right down here. And let's see, yeah, I need to trim that just a little bit. My receipt was a little wider than my piece of paper. So you just need a piece of paper that will fit in your bag nicely. And then on the back, I'm going to pop this cute little lady on there and maybe one of my blue butterflies just to tie it all together. So I do like the look of the ink, and I do like the frayed burlap. So I'm going to ink this all up. I'm going to glue her on here, and then I'm going to get a piece of the purple Sari silk, which I think I've already hung back up. I could use a ruffle, but anyway, I'm going to get a little bit of this up here at the top, and then I'll be right back and we'll continue. All right, so I've made the tag. I did so around the edge, and we're going to pop it right into our bag pocket. Right like that. Super cute. Now let's go ahead and let's put a pocket on our bag. So I'm simply using a piece of ephemera, and I'm going to glue it down on 3 sides. Quick and easy pocket. And I'm going to pop it right there on that bag. All right. So I know we have some very pretty pieces that we can put in here. Ooh, that's gorgeous. That looks wonderful. Now, what shall we do over here on this side? Let's use a piece of ephemera and let's make a belly band using it. Simply by getting a rectangle piece and gluing the ends and then popping it right onto the bag. I'm just looking to see here, getting it, see where the center is, maybe about right here. I think that's still, yeah. Make sure you clear your fold area. And then let's see, what can we pop into here? Maybe something like that. All right, so now we've got our bag filled and 2 little areas to pop some pieces of ephemera in. Now right here, we're going to be placing another pocket, and then on the other side, we're going to be placing our flip book. So I'm just looking through my ephemera here to see if there's anything that I would like to use as a tuck spot. That one's really pretty on there. It's not very firm. It's pretty flimsy. This one's firm. This one's cardstock. That one's pretty on there too. Let's use that because it is cardstock. Now, because I'm gluing this down, I'm going to go ahead and ink it. My tags that I just put in there aren't inked, but I can always pull those out and ink them up later. But once I glue this down, it makes it a little harder to go back and ink it. Adding glue on only 2 of my sides. That way I can get things in and out of my little tuck spot so much easier. And then, let's see, we've got a beautiful blue one. And we've got a peacock. I think that looks lovely. Now, we can always add something else here if we want. We could add a little bit of our Sari silk ruffle to tie it all in together as part of our decoration. I'm going to put this over here because I want to use, oh, no, it just fell on the floor, heaven's sakes. Okay, so I popped my little ruffle here and I added another one of those pieces of sewing trim, and I added a little bit of the pink ribbon up there, and I want to cover up this right here. It's just some information the bag came with, and I want to cover that up. I'm going to just rip me off a piece of our, yeah, I forget what this stuff's called all of a sudden. Anyway, just to tie it all in together. Oh boy. All right, so over here we're ready for our washi tape. There's a washi tape. Our flip book. I have prepared some pages, and I've got some tracing, coffee dyed tracing paper, some coffee dyed copy weight paper, some vintage tracing paper grid, and a beautiful food dyed pink piece of paper. Now, what order do I want to put these in? I think I'm going to maybe do I want the pink? Do I want the green? Do I want the brown? Oh wow, I kind of like the green. I don't know why, but I do like that green. What happens if we put the green with the pink? What does that do? All right, let's try this with this. What does that do? I don't know. It doesn't really seem to matter. So I'm going to put the pink, the grid, the pink, the tracing paper, and the copy paper. I'm putting it all together like this, and then I'm going to get my little tiny stapler, and I'm going to staple 3 staples. I know I'm going to have to trim this off a little bit, so we need to definitely pay attention to where our fold is. So I'm going to highlight that fold a little bit. That's very important. I didn't do a very good job of highlighting it, did I? There we go. That's a little better. And I want to pop this in maybe about right there, but I want to cut it off. Let's cut it off right there at that mark. So bringing in my little guillotine, just giving it a chop. Oh, that is pretty because you can see the pink underneath. All right. So the next thing I want to do is, I think I'm going to ink up I'm looking for what I did with my ink pad, my little flip book here. I need to get this ready to go down because it would be very difficult to try to ink this up after I put it down. I do like lots of ink there. Okay. I'm trying to decide, do I want to use some washi on that at the top? A little lace, some washi, or I have another little bit of ruffle. Ooh, the ruffle's pretty. I also have some butterflies that are left. I could put a butterfly on here. I could actually put a butterfly down here as well, or even over here. Put it on top of there too. Okay, lots of ideas here going on. Slow it down, Cathy. Let's glue this on. And I'm just putting the glue right at the top. And I'm just kind of seeing where the middle is. And getting that put down like that. Remember, you're going to need to give yourself space on both sides of your flip book because we're going to put our portfolio closure there. I do think I'm going to use my ruffle. I was going to use the washi, but I think I'll use the washi with the butterfly for accent on the flip book. I'm trying to get all these strings off. I don't know, my hands are so dry lately. I've been putting all kinds of stuff on my hands to try to get them to soften up, but because my hands are kind of rough, this string from the Sari silk is just sticking on me. Something terrible. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to glue that on there. Like that. Trim it off. Okay. Trim off this. For heaven's sakes. Okay. Very nice. We got so many pieces here that I need to cut off. All right, what happened here? It is this little tiny piece here, and I think I'm just going to pop on a piece of washi, maybe right here, just for some added interest. You can see where I fussy cut this butterfly So I'm going to use a little of this ink to help, you know, camouflage that it's not fussy cut perfectly. Okay, that's super cute. Now, what happened to the, oh, here it is. Do I have any more butterflies? No. So I am going to go ahead and pop this on before I end up losing this one, because that's what would happen to me. It'd get stuck somewhere. Now, let me think about this. Do we want it on here? I think we want it over here, and I'm not sure I want it down. I think I want it up a little bit. And do I want a little washi on there too? I don't know. Let's see. Maybe. Okay, that's really pretty. Okay, that's very, very sweet. Little bit of pink sticking through. That's nice. I'll ink those tags up later. Okay, back over here in the dish. Let's pull the dish over here. Before I pull the dish over here, I know I want to do something else. I want to put a couple of these things on there. Yeah, that made it look super cute, didn't it? Sorry, guys. Oh, it's like I keep thinking, oh, we can do this, we can add this. And you know, this is very simply a piece of cardstock, a bag, and then we glued things on it. So it's not elaborate, but the more you can decorate it and jazz it up, really the better it looks, and it just, you can take it up a few notches by doing things like that. I have got these little circles here, and this is my, looks like it's about 3/4 of an inch across punch, and I punched out 2 with the blue because I thought that would be really sweet. And I'm going to go ahead and brush it with my sponge. Even got stuff stuck all over my sponge. Okay, and then, so you need 2 of those, and then you're going to need another cardstock. So this is cardstock, this is cardstock, and this is cardstock. Okay. So what we want to do is we want to put these 2 together like that. I've got a little foam piece, and I'm going to lay this down. I've got my awl. I'm going to put these together, and then I'm going to push through with my awl. But I'm not going to have it come through too far. Just a tiny bit, right guys? Just a tiny bit. Because we're going to be using, now where did they go? Here they are. These little tiny brads. Recollections is called. Embellishments, 200 pieces. It doesn't say what size. But you can see they're tiny. And I'm going to stick them through that little hole, stick my brad through those 2 little holes that I made, and then open it up. Okay. Then I'm going to put that back so I don't lose it. I'm going to decide, where do I want this to go across? Maybe about right there. This is just holding this pad closed, because once you flip it, this pad just started, you know, causing trouble. And it was going to get all folded up weird and cause lumps. So I decided, oh, let's do this. So I've got my baker's twine. Mine's in a blue. I'm going to put it right across here. I'm going to lay this down right here. I'm going to add glue, and I'm going to add glue, and then I'm going to pop that on there and let it glue that thread, that baker's twine, underneath that circle, because you need it to be held in place. Then you come right across, and we're going to, now you've already put these two together, you're going to put glue on the back side, and then you're going to pop this right here and have that get glued down. I have to make sure it's really cooled. Once it cools, then it's dry and ready to use. And you take your thread, and it goes in between your two pieces. Wrap it around. Now I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to tie a knot, because my baker's twine has two pieces, the blue and the white, and they're just twisted together, so I'm going to put a knot there so they don't untwist. And there you have your closure to your flip book. So you can write in it when you don't want it to go flipping around without you wanting it to. You just tie it up just like that, you guys. I really love how this interactive page insert with a flip bag has turned out. I hope that you have enjoyed this video, and if you have, please give me a thumbs up. I invite you to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video. I'll see you there, guys. Bye now.